Get ready, Central Georgia.
Save the date.
The Black Business and Consumer Expo gonna be coming up at the Macon Coliseum.
September 21st. The theme for this year's expo is
Together we rise.
Because this event represents our collective rise as a community. The event will feature an active marketplace, educational breakout sessions, thought-provoking conversations, cultural entertainment, community resources, and giveaways. This will be the largest gathering in Central Georgia for Black businesses and youth entrepreneurs.
So if you want a prime location for your booth,
Become a vendor. We are now accepting applications for the Black Business and Community Expo 2024.
at the Macon Coliseum.
Saturday, September 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So put it on your calendar.
Engaging in Black commerce, Black community, and Black culture. For more info and to reserve your spot,
Go to cgcdb.org. A lot of people are really confused about the components that are necessary for one to live a successful life. You know, I realize that intangible things are important, and there are forces and situations and circumstances that are rewarding, you know, that's not related, you know, necessarily to material things. But I don't think anybody will argue with me when I say that it's important to have some money. And that's what we need to be involved in, because that makes a contribution. I'm just gonna, you all will understand when I say it, but you know, we have not had an elevator to take us up that mountain. So we have to try to come up with methodologies and resources where we can live a good life, you know, have a little fun, take care of our families, leave something for generational wealth, which is important to us and it's important to the community. Well, it just doesn't happen like that. It just, you know, it just ain't no snap. You know, there are some educational and some processes, if you please, involved in trying to generate wealth and trying to be comfortable and trying to make some money and trying to have some nicer things. Well, I hate to tell you, but you ain't no expert on it. And what you have to do is try to find one and have an open mind so you can learn something about it and receive some help so you can leave that generational wealth and drive that car and take care of your family and eat that grocery. Guess what, y'all? Guess what? We got an expert. And, you know, now what I should do, I should charge y'all. But, you know, since we're going to have him at the expo, the Business and Community Expo, so on September 21st at the Coliseum, I thought I'd give y'all a snippet. He gonna be one of our presenters. He gonna bring it. You know, he gonna speak and do a seminar and do all that stuff and help train you, you know, teach you, advise you, educate you on what it takes to. I wish I had $100 bill so I could flash, but I'm broke. But I'm gonna go to a session. Oh, there it is, right there. He got a stack. Well, I think it's mighty appropriate that he comes out with that stack, because that stack rhymes with his name. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ash Cash with a stack.
Hey,
He gonna introduce himself and do whatever he does as it relates to educating us about some money. Go ahead, sir.
Brother Hamersham, thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure. You know, Ash Exantus, aka better known as Ash Cash, the financial motivator, author, podcaster, one of the top financial educators in the world. You know, I have a very popular podcast called Inside the Vault with Ash Cash that has been, you know, viewed in over 156 countries, you know, over 10 million times. And really, I am someone who has, you know, grew up in a low income background, and, you know, did my best to try to figure out how to, you know, learn how to get out of my situation. And I lucked out in becoming a banker at 19 years old. And I did everything in banking, from teller to personal banker to private banker to branch manager to CEO of a credit union. I've managed money for some of the wealthiest people. And the Honorable Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, once said, "There's much bigger issues in the world I know, but I first have to take care of the world I know." And that's why I do this work. That's why I'm excited for the forum, for coming to the Coliseum, because I want to touch my people. I want to help them change their mindset so they can manage money and so that they can build generational wealth. I have this shirt that says "Abundance is your birthright," and I need you to understand that, right? I need you to understand that abundance is your birthright, and we're going to teach you how to access your abundance now, right? I want you to access that abundance right now. And I'm gonna be teaching that soon.
Yeah, well, we really, really appreciate that. And I don't want you to do your seminar now, but just can you kind of give us some, well, before you do that, let me talk a little bit about the expo. This is the Central Georgia Business and Community Expo. And Ask Cash with a Stack, we see the need, and we did it last year to try to, expose our community to a situation and an event that was real, varying, had a lot of resources like entertainment and economic development and education and things of that nature. And we kind of pulled it off. Now, it's at the Coliseum, the 10,000 seat Coliseum, which is a big place. But we just wanted to show the community that we can come together. We can expose our African American businesses and corporate businesses also. We can have entertainment. We can have breakout sessions like what you're going to do with the cash, and then make it a successful second one. Let's give the first one a round of applause. This is our second one. And then so we enlisted the support of the Resource Guild in the person of Mr. Daniel Dickett to help us, do this thing successfully, because we want to take it to the next level. And the first thing he said, well, if you want to level it up, if you want to bring it on up, then we need to get Ask Cash. So that's why we're on this show. That's why I want the community to become familiar with you. That's why I want us to become more conscientious. Now, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. And this is going to be very motivational to you. African Americans in Central Georgia. I ain't talking about the other state of Atlanta. Notice I said the other state. In Central Georgia, spend $3.5 billion a year. Sheesh. After taxes. Now, that $3.5 billion a year stay in our community about 6 hours. Whereas other communities, and let me hasten to say before somebody start texting me, this is not separatism, ladies and gentlemen. It's self-development. So don't be texting me talking about I'm racist. I'm not. My track record shows that I'm not. But I think it's important if we just be honest with ourselves. Everybody could benefit as the community is uplifted economically, because these individuals will pay more taxes, volunteer on more boards, hire the young people. So the proper expenditure, if you please, of that $3.5 billion a year in our community could make a phenomenal and a measurable difference. Now, that expo, the Business and Community Expo, which is going to be held on September the 21st, 10 to 6 at the Maker Coliseum, and it's going one of the feature presenters is going to be none other than Mr. Ask Cash with a Stack himself. Is designed to kind of address that issue in a respectful and effective manner. So you can go ahead and make whatever comments you want to make.
Yeah, I appreciate that because exactly that, right? Exactly what you stated is the reason why I started to do the work. As a community in general, right? We have 1.3 trillion in spending power. And the same stats are true, right? 6 hours. But if we bring it down, right, to central Georgia, and we're talking 3.5 billion, that means there's so many different countries. Like you think about a Saint Lucia, right? You think about San Marino. You think about Grenada. You think about all Saint Vincent, right? You think about Dominica. These are all islands, right? That are tourist attractions, things of that nature. They don't like we have, right? Central Georgia has more money than whole countries,
Wow.
right? Than whole countries, whole islands, right? And so Bermuda, right? Like there's so many, I could keep going on and on and on and on. But the point is this: the point is what we need to realize is that our power lies in our economic strength, period. Right? When we are in an election year, and when we focus on only, right, we only focus on, whether it's going to be, Vice President Kamala Harris or former President Donald Trump, but what are we doing locally, right? What are we doing locally? Who are we putting in power locally? And the truth of the matter is that who we put in power locally will determine some of the resources and the assets that go to your city, right? And unfortunately, or fortunately, however way you want to look at it, politics are run by money, right? Those who have the money are able to put their money behind certain candidates, and when those candidates get into power, the laws and things are going to go in that direction. If we don't understand that, right? If we have $3.5 billion that's coming into our city, and that money leaves in 6 hours, guess who has the power? Not you, right? You don't have the power. The businesses have the power. The people who control that dollar have the power. And so we want to talk about different ways where we can circulate that dollar a little more, right? How do we build generational wealth? Here's a true stat that, and I'm talking specifically the Black community, right? In the Black community, the biggest employer of the Black community is the federal government. The second highest, biggest employer of the Black community is Black business.
Wow.
Right? And so imagine, right? Imagine if you could control both. If you can learn how to, control the dollar so that the dollar circulates, so that you have economic power where you could pick the right candidates and the right elective officials that will employ your community, that will help your community get in the right space. But then secondly, use that money to support business, Black business, so that we can hire more, so we can support more. And just those two things alone, you will see a significant turn in the way your quality of life is. And this is not a 10-year plan. It's not a 20-year plan. This happens now, right? When you learn how to control your dollar right now, the power is, it's almost like turning a switch, right? If you walk into the room and the room is dark and you turn the switch on and there's light, that's what happens when you have economic control of your dollar. You're literally turning on the switch and you're saying, guess what? You have to respect me now. Put some respect on my name. You got to respect me now because I have the power. And this is what we're going to teach you at the expo.
Well, I thought you for that stack of cash when you
Oh,
meet
oh!
them.
I mean, I'm gonna reach for it so they can see. But like, once you got the stacks, right? Once you got the stack, you got the power. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You got. We were. I mean, we definitely worry about who's gonna be president. But also, we got to control these presidents too. It's not just the president that's sitting in the office. We want to control Ben as well. You know.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So what can, and I know you're gonna get into this, and I'm not trying to steal, because we want to, well, they can't learn everything. You got too much for them to try to learn on this little show anyway. But in addition to that, what you just said about spending money from an educational perspective or community's perspective. So, what can we do uh, as a community? And I know you're going to get into it when you make your presentation on September the 21st at the Maker Coliseum. When you do your breakout and when you speak to the group, like some information that we can circulate.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think number one, it has to start with our relationship with money, right? It starts with the mindset. I think that if we continue to approach money in a scarcity mindset and not an abundance mindset, that is the reason why we don't even realize. Like before you said that number, I could promise you that there's people on the show or watching the show who says, because there's $3.5 billion there. And so number one, it's about changing that mindset. It's about also changing that relationship with money in order to have money. When the truth is that, yes, if we don't come from money, I didn't come from money. A lot of us didn't come from money. You're going to have to work hard for money. But when you get that money, what are you going to do? To invest it in income producing assets. It's ownership that will Yep. And so we want to talk about SMART goals, right? How do you make sure it's, your goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're related, they're timely, right? And so also, investing, all of these things that are necessary. There is a science of building wealth. There's a science of getting rich. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the practical things, right? So it starts with the mindset. It starts with changing the relationship. But once you have the mindset, once you have, the access to saying, all right, I'm going to change the way I view money. Now, what are the action steps that you're going to take? What are the practical things you're going to take in order to set up your financial life in the way that you're going to continue to build generational wealth, so that it's not just about right now. It's about how do you create it so that you break the cycle. We want Central Georgia to be a thriving community. We want it to be a thriving community, a community with thriving businesses. You think about the Black Wall Streets of the world. This is we have the opportunity and the ability to do that, especially now with access to technology, access to direct to consumer. There's so many opportunities that we have now to build massive enterprises that take us to the next level. So that's what we're going to be, really talking about.
Well, I really appreciate it. Excited. I really am, and I'm so thankful, and I'm so attuned, if you please, to the concept, the dynamics, and the necessity of financial literacy. And that has kind of been kept away from us. I mean, both by keeping it away from us and us agreeing not to pursue it. I was trying to think of volition and volition. I'm going to just make some words up, though. That's been kept away from us, and it's so important. It's so important. And then, look, we need to think about the peripheral effects of a well-to-do community and the proper utilization of our spending power. Yeah. You're going to have fewer crimes. You're going to have more people employed. You're going to have more people getting, if not formal education, getting some kind of skill. The entire community is going to be uplifted, because, people are going to be paying more taxes. They're going to be a spiritual, advantage. because, hey, the preacher's going to start jumping up and down now. Because we're going to be able to give more spiritually to help the churches and the religious institution in their missions to make this a better community. So, I mean, it's so important, man. And I've been preaching it for, before I got this gray hair.
Yeah.
And
you know what? One thing I want to say also is we have to realize that self-discipline, economic prosperity is a form of self-love. The more money good people can make, the more good we can do. Money is an amplifier. If you don't like what's happening in the world, if you're looking and you're complaining about how money is being spent, it's because money is an amplifier. It only amplifies who you are already. And so good people, right? The good people of Central Georgia, good people don't realize that connection. And we allow, the money to just not be something that we use for our good. But we need to take it seriously. We need to love ourselves and understand that we are the ones. No one's going to save us. We have to save ourselves, and we have to save ourselves with what we already have in our hand, which is $3.5 billion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just been given a snippet. Mr. Ash Cash, who's going to be one of our presenters and speakers at the upcoming Business and Community Expo that's going to be held at the Macon Coliseum on September the 21st, starting around 10. We're going to have entertainment. But, let me tell you what I want. There are two things I want you to do. One of them has to do with voting. You get 10 people, to go to the poll and vote. I ain't being political, but politicians make policy.
Thanks.
So if you want policy to favor your community, then get them registered while you got time. Just go ahead and get them registered. The second thing I want you to do, get 10 people and bring them to this expo, because it's going to be highly beneficial to the community. It's going to be all day. It's going to be all kind of breakout sessions. And then we'll have them staggered, because I know everybody want to go. You saw them $100 bills, I follow a man with a stack, particularly if his name is Ash Cash. It worked like that. So, come to the expo. We're going to run some commercials on this show about the expo, but, it's free. Now you can get a booth too. That ain't free, but you can purchase a booth. You can go to cgcbb.org, and there, there's a tab where you can purchase a booth. So let's get excited. Help to promote it. We all in this thing together. So that's the thing to do. That funny name to start with an E, is that really your name, or is that stage?
Oh no, that's my real name. So yeah, Exantus. So Ash Exantus. Yep. And it
spell
it EXANTUS.
Okay.
Yeah. It means gift of God.
Sure enough. Especially when you hold it up.
Yeah,
especially when you hold up all them $100 bills. I'm gonna call my name X something. Well,
that's it.
My name is Alex.
Alex, that's it. You already started. You already started with the gift.
I got bored of it.
You got all the gifts.
Yeah. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Havisham. I'm having interviewed Mr. Ash Cash Exantus.
Yes, sir.
Exantus, who's a phenomenal financial guru. I started to call him advisor or phenomenal. He's a financial guru. That's all you need to know. And he's going to be at the Macon Coliseum September the 21st at the Business and Consumer Community Expo. And we want you there, not only to see Mr. Ash Cash, but also all of the other community-minded and community-related activities, entertainment, food trucks, you name it. But you need to be a part of it, and we expect to see you there. Mr. Ash Cash with the stack.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for all you do, and we looking forward to your presentation. And now let me tell y'all something right now. Mr. Ash Cash want results.
Facts.
Now he told y'all said we could flip a switch, and nothing would make him prouder than on September the 22nd he realizes that he came to Macon, Georgia, and it was dark from an economic perspective, but now we see light.
Absolutely.
From an economic perspective. So let's hear him, let's listen to him, let's support the expo, and let's be there, and let's be more cognizant of the power of the money that we make and spend on a daily basis. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Havisham. Have a great day.
And this morning, we're getting expert advice from Ash Exantus.
Ash Exantus, financial empowerment coach.
Personal finance expert, Ash Exantus.
Ash Exantus is the financial empowerment coach.
Financial empowerment coach, Ash Exantus.
Pix 11 Financial Fix contributor, Ash Exantus.
Ash Cash Exantus, personal finance expert.
Ash Cash is here. Big Jay-Z fan for a very long time.
And author of the Wake Up Call Financial Inspiration Learned from 444.
Finance expert Ash Cash agrees. He says it's imperative to start saving way before you even think about having a child.
So if you look at all of your bills and you look at all of the fees that we're paying for things, if we got rid of those unnecessary fees, I guarantee we will have extra money to pay ourselves first to save.
Financial empowerment coach Ash Exantus says take advantage of every credit you're entitled to.
Right, so people don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if a lot of what he said is going to come true.
No.
So I'm not surprised because people are afraid, and when people are afraid, they act.
If you just say, hey, listen, I want to know how can I lower my bill, they usually have promotions, and if you ask, you'll be surprised at how much you can save. Education is the most important part, is understanding why. Like, why do you need 6 to 8 months of expenses in an account? Why do you need to build your credit? Why do you need to invest? Why do you need to change your relationship with money, right? Because we know about working hard for money, but the wealthy know that it's about changing that relationship. Instead of working hard for money, money needs to work hard for you.
Got the rundown right here from the man himself. He said money in your pocket is worth a lot, right? Ash Exantus, thanks for keeping us up to date and protected.
Ash Cash Exantus, personal finance expert and author.
Very cool. Ash Exantus, thank you so much for joining us. All those tips, awesome.
www.makingblackpages.com